Yeah, good morning, one and all. So today is the class number 7. So in the previous classes regarding the problematic part, we have completed. So my dear students, if you have any doubts, so you can ask the doubts also. So today we come to the block number 1. In the block number 1, unit number 1, unit number 2, unit number 3, unit number 4, and unit number 5. These block we are going to cover in the today's class and the tomorrow's class. Okay. So till now, how many classes we completed? We completed 6 classes. So in these 6 classes, if you have any doubt regarding the quantitative technique subject, so you can ask the doubts. So now I will start the quantitative techniques and introduction, need and importance of quantitative techniques, classification, mathematical quantitative techniques, statistical quantitative techniques, operation research techniques, role of quantitative techniques in business and industry, quantitative techniques in decision making, limitations of quantitative techniques. Okay. So wait a minute, I will share the screen now. So my dear students, join the class quickly. Make it fast to join the classes. Yeah. So you listen carefully. So this is the unit number 1, the introduction to quantitative techniques. Introduction to quantitative techniques. So here, we go for a small introduction. Why? Because before we are entering into the quantitative technique subject, we should know the basic importance of the subject and a little bit basics. Okay, that is we call it as a introduction. So socio-economic life of man became increasingly complex in the fast changing technologies and lifestyle. Okay, socio-economic condition of a human being or a that is a human being in the sense that is a man, woman, or a children or adult anyone, slowly increasing complex, very hard and the fast changing technology. So what is happening nowadays? You observe the technology, okay, and the lifestyle of the human being. So here, so severe competition, the byproduct of globalization, became an unavoidable component in every segment of the economy, especially in administration and business. Okay, here severe competition is there, and we need to go for the byproduct of globalization became an unavoidable component of every segment of the economy, especially in administration and business. Okay, so here decision making and the core responsibility of policymakers and top managers was once based on subjective matter such as observation, experience, and intelligent guess of the decision maker. So here decision making is one of the important core responsibility of the policymakers here. So here and the top manager was once based on subjective matter such as observations, experience, and intelligent guess of the decision maker here. Intelligent guess. So based on the our observations as well as experience and intelligence of the decision maker, it will be dependable. Now it is shifted to database. Okay. Before this technology was not introduced, before that time here, it depends completely depends on the policymakers and the top managers as well as the observations will be done and the experience and as well as the intelligent guess of the decision maker. But now it is completely shifted to the database, which provides accurate base. Okay, accurate base means accurate information, accurate data by the database. So in today's world of business management, a small mistake in decision making leads to heavy loss and complete closure of the business. So in the today, in the present scenario or the contemporary situation here, what happens here? The business management, if they will do any small mistakes in regarding the decision making point of view, it leads to severe effect on the heavy loss of the business as well as a complete closure of the business will be taking place. So such conditions diverted the attention of the planners towards quantitative techniques. So based on these conditions here, it completely diverted diverted the mindset of the planners towards the quantitative techniques, making it an important tool in decision making, then goal programming and policy framing here. So, the planners, who are the planners? Generally human beings. So they will plan with the help of the AI, sometimes artificial intelligence, or here the database. Okay, they planned and they will be diverted the complete conditions towards the quantitative techniques, making it an important tool in decision making, goal programming and policy framing. Then here, knowledge of quantitative analysis and quantitative techniques is essential to those who wish to develop their career in any economic activity where competition is a threat here. Okay, the competition is a threat here. So, knowledge of quantitative analysis and quantitative techniques is essential to, okay, those who wish to develop their career in any economic activity where competition is a threat here. So, where there is a huge competition is there. Why? Because day by day, see, day by day, the situation is demands the complex situation arising here. Okay, the socio-economic condition of a human being. Okay, based on this globalization and unavoidable component situations. Okay, before this entire information technology resolution is not taken place at that time, completely the top policymakers and the top managers, they are dependent on their observations and experience as well as their intelligent guests to take any decision, and they will become the decision maker. But the situation is completely changed here. So when this database was introduced here, the knowledge of quantitative analysis and quantitative techniques is essential to those who wish to develop their career in any economic activity where competition is a threat here. So competition is a threat. Why? Because see, day by day, what is happening? The competitors are increasing here to survive on this earth, to survive in the society, to prove themselves here. What happens? Simply, the competitors, they are creating some competition. It leads to a threat to the opponent competitors. So this is the basic example of the basic introduction about the quantitative techniques here. Then next over here, quantitative techniques concept. What is here? We'll see quantitative technique concept. So what is concept generally? Yeah, my dear students, concept, the meaning of concept. Concept is nothing but here a small picture is forming in the brain of an individual when he started thinking over any object or any activity. So that is called as a concept, or sometimes we can say, as per the Oxford Dictionary, concept is nothing but a mental picture, a mental picture here. So here, quantity is the root from which the concept, the quantitative techniques is developed here. So quantity means here we can see when comparing with quality and quantity. Quality is nothing but we can we see and we feel, we touch, but quantity here we will see and we will touch, and in quantity what happens here, the bulk amount will be observed here. We are going to see the quantity. Quantity is the root from which the concept quantitative techniques is developed. Quantity is the only the root which was developed. Then here the term quantity literally means the ability to be measured through measurable units in numbers or symbols such as weight, length, etc. here. So the term quantity literally means the ability to be measured through measurable units in numbers or symbols such as weight, length, etc. The word quantity is derived from a Latin term quantum libet, which means as much as you please. Thus, quantity is something measurable with a definiteness. Quantitative is concerned with quantity. It can be explained as the numerical expressions of information or fact against qualitative expression, which is a non-numerical statement of a fact. Thus, quantitative techniques involved introduction of the elements of quantities such as number, symbol, and other mathematical expressions. Okay, this is the concept of the quantity. We can say if the quantity is high, it depends on the numbers only, and sometimes it depends on the symbols such as weight and length here. So qualitative statement example is there here. You must show good progress in sales in the next quarter. So this is a quality. Okay, so automatically it leads to increase of quantity, it leads to a quality also. marketing manager is expecting big amount for advertising the product. So marketing manager is expecting a big amount for the advertising the product. Why? Because they are arranged different features to attract the mindset of a consumer. The basic requirement of a consumer. Here, the marketing manager started giving a small advertisement in the TV channel or in the social media. Okay, why? Because in the nooks and corner of the country or the city, the advertisement should be reached. For that, a big amount of expenditure will be taking place here. Okay, so here the qualitative expressions example you can see. You must improve sales by 15% by next quarter. By next quarter, this is a qualitative example. Then marketing manager expecting 50,000 rupees for advertising the product. So by observing both the above example, it shows that qualitative expression lacks measuring units in numerical form. Quantitative expressions require units of measurement in numbers, which can also be called data. Okay, so you observe carefully. By observing both the amount, the above example, it shows that qualitative expression lacks measuring units in numerical form. Quantitative expression requires units of measurement in numbers, which can also be called data. Okay, so here the definition of quantitative techniques, as the name indicates plural form, it contains more than one technique or tool. Thus, the term can be defined as number one here. So the C.R. Kotari, he defined the quantitative techniques as, you observe carefully, quantitative techniques may be defined as those techniques which provide the decision maker, okay, with a systematic and powerful means of analysis and help based on quantitative in exploring policies for achieving predetermined goals here. So quantitative techniques may be defined as those techniques which provide the decision maker with a systematic and powerful means of analysis and help based on the quantitative in exploring policies for achieving predetermined goals. Okay, it is said by the C.R. Kotari. The next over here, quantitative techniques are the devices developed on the basis of mathematical and statistical principles and formula. So quantitative techniques are the devices developed on the basis of mathematical and statistical principles and formula. So here the quantitative technique says that it is a device, mathematical and statistical principles and formula. It was developed. The next over here, quantitative techniques refer to a group of data based tools designed with the mathematical and statistical models. Mathematical and statistical models here. So you observe carefully. Quantitative techniques refers to a group of data. Group of data means here uh, not individual, more than 5 or more than 10. Is a group of data based on tools designed with mathematical and statistical models here. The next one, quantitative techniques are the methods that provide a systematic base in the form of numbers, mathematical formulas, symbols, etc. for analytical study of the problem under the consideration and for achieving predetermined goals. Predetermined goals here. So numbers, mathematical formulas, symbols, etc. for analytical study of the problem under the consideration and for achieving predetermined goals. Thus, quantitative techniques are numerical descriptions of quantitative process and analysis extensively applied in the study of problems and a process of decision making. So this is a small definition of quantitative techniques. So it's a powerful tool, and in quantitative techniques we observe the powerful tools and the means of analysis, and it will help as well as it is a basis for the development of the mathematical and statistical principle and formula. So quantitative techniques is a group of individuals and it's a group of database. Okay, then it's a, and also the quantitative techniques are the methods that provide systematic base in the form of numbers, mathematical formulas, symbols, etc. for analytical study of the problem under the consideration and for achieving predetermined goals. So here quantitative techniques are the numerical descriptions of quantitative process and analysis extensively applied in the study of problems and process of decision making. So one more definition here, the quantitative techniques. Quantitative techniques may be defined as those techniques which provide the decision maker a systematic and powerful means of analysis based on quantitative data, which is a scientific method employed for problem solving and decision making by the management. Okay, with the help of quantitative techniques, the decision maker is able to explore policies for attaining the predetermined objectives. In short, quantitative techniques are inevitable in decision making process. Inevitable in decision making process. So you observe carefully. Once again, I will go through the quantitative technique definition here. Quantitative techniques may be defined as those techniques which provide the decision maker a systematic and powerful means of analysis based on quantitative data. Okay, provide the decision maker a systematic. Systematic means step by step through a proper way, and the powerful means of analysis. Our analysis will be done in a proper manner. Why? Because there should be a base will be there, and why what no, why we are doing and what includes will be there in the analysis. Analysis is nothing but analysis is nothing but a detailed examination will be done based on the quantitative of the data. It is a scientific method employed for problem solving and decision making by the management. Scientific method means involvement of science, okay, employed for the problem solving and the decision making by the management. Okay, then over here, wait. Yeah. So here it is a scientific method employed for problem solving and decision making by the management. The next one, with the help of quantitative techniques, the decision maker is able to explore policies. So with the help of quantitative techniques, the decision maker in a position to explore. Okay, to explore means here to apply or to see the inside, to walk around, okay, to discover, to search, to investigate, or do a survey, as well as a policy for attaining predetermined objective. Predetermined objective means the objectives which are chalked out as in the early stages. For that objective, we are going to apply different tools and techniques. In short, quantitative techniques are inevitable in decision making process. Okay. Then next over here, we'll see. We will go for the types of decision making. We call it as a classification. Classification or types, the meaning is same, or sometimes categorization, cataloging, arrangement, sorting, taxonomy. Okay, there are different types of quantitative techniques. We can classify them into three categories. They are here. Say they are here: mathematical quantitative techniques, statistical quantitative technique, programming or operation research quantitative technique. So we can say that here as the MQT, MQT. Then next one is SQT, MQT, SQT. Then next over here, P, see P oblique ORQT, ORQT. Okay, these three things, the quantitative techniques is classified. But the first one is mathematical quantitative techniques, statistical quantitative techniques, programming or operation research quantitative techniques. So, okay, so we go for the first one. That is mathematical quantitative techniques. Okay, a technique in which algebraic, geometric arithmetic, and calculus approaches and concept of quantitative data are used along with the principles of managed mathematics is known as mathematical quantitative techniques. So mathematical quantitative techniques involved here permutations and combinations, set theory, matrix algebra, determinants, differentiation, integration, differential equation. Okay. So vitamin H, please go through once again. See here, classification, mathematical quantitative techniques, statistical quantitative techniques. See, quantitative techniques is classified in this way. Then programming or operation research quantitative techniques. So first one is mathematical quantitative techniques. A technique in which algebraic, geometric, and calculus approaches and concept of quantitative data are used along with the principles of mathematics is known as mathematical quantitative techniques here. So in this here, algebraic, geometric, arithmetic, and calculus approaches will be there, and the concept of quantitative data are used along with the principles of mathematics known as mathematical quantitative techniques. So mathematical quantitative techniques involves these are the uh, different factors or different components, that is permutations and combination. Permutation means arrangement of object in a definite order. Definite order means a proper order, it will be, the permutations will be arranged. The number of arrangements depend upon the total number of objects and the number of objects taken at a time for arrangement here. So the arrangement depends completely on total number of objects, it will be dependable the number of objects taken at a time for arrangement. The next one is combination. Combination means a selection or grouping objects without considering their order. Without considering their order. Okay. So this is about the permutation combination. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. So here, permutations and combination. Permutation is nothing but the arrangement of the objects in a definite order. The number of arrangement depends upon the total number of objects. Okay. The number of objects taken at the time for arrangement. Combination means selection or grouping objects without considering their object. Without considering their object. Combination means selection or grouping objects. Okay. All the objects will be selected and grouped. Okay. Without considering their order. Order is not criteria, but arranged a combination, arranged at one place. Then set theory. Set theory means a modern mathematical device which solves various types of critical problems here. Set theory is also the modern mathematical device which solves the various types of problems. Okay. Various critical problem. Critical means the problem which is not solved by a common man. The problem will be solved with the help of set theory, formulas, and the principles. Okay. The next matrix algebra. Matrix algebra. Okay. Matrix algebra. Then over here, see, wait a minute. రేవంత్ రెడ్డి గారు ఆర్ఆర్టీ రాష్ట్ర ప్రజలకి So matrix algebra. లక్షల వరకు ఉన్నటువంటి వాళ్ళందరికీ రుణమాఫీ చేస్తామని మాట వాస్తవం. ఆ ఇచ్చిన మాట ప్రకారం మ్యాట్రిక్స్ ఇచ్చిన మాట ప్రకారం మేము 5 సంవత్సరాలు 6 సంవత్సరాలు పెండింగ్ పెట్టకుండా మాట ప్రకారం మాట తప్పకూడదని వారు ఒక రాష్ట్ర ప్రజలకు మాట తప్పనిసరిగా అమలు చేస్తామని చెప్పి పెద్ద ఎత్తున కేవలం 3-4 మాసాల్లోనే రాష్ట్రవ్యాప్తంగా రాష్ట్ర వ్యాప్తంగా. Yeah. So here, see, observe carefully. Matrix. Matrix is an orderly arrangement of certain given numbers or symbols in rows and columns. It is a mathematical device of finding out the results of different types of algebraic operations on the basis of relevant matrices. Okay. relevant matrices. So matrix is an orderly arrangement of certain given numbers or symbols in rows and columns. It is a mathematical device of finding out results of different types of algebraic operations on the basis of relevant matrix. Then determinants. Determinants are nothing but it is a powerful device developed over the matrix algebra. This device is used for finding out values of different variables connected with a number of simultaneous equations. Then see, powerful device developed over the matrix algebra. This device is used or used for finding out values of different variables connected with a number of simultaneous equations. Then differentiation. It is a mathematical process of finding out changes in dependent variable with reference to a small change in the independent variable. So differentiation is nothing but here. It is a mathematical process of finding out changes in dependent variable with reference to a small change in the independent variable. Then integration. Integration is the reverse process of differentiation. Okay, integration means integrated at one place, at one unit, at one academy, okay, at one area. All the different articles or different particles will be arranged at one place. One that is called as integrations. It is completely reverse for differentiation. Differentiation means simply dividing here. Different articles, different products, we can say. Then differential equations here. What is the differential equation? So it is a mathematical equation which involves the differential coefficients of dependent variables. Okay, it is a mathematical equation which involves the differential coefficient of different dependent variables. Statistical quantitative techniques here. See, wait a minute. Statistical quantitative techniques. Right. So here, these are the seven. Okay, seven components are there in mathematical quantitative techniques. So the first one is mathematical quantitative techniques, permutation and combinations, set theory, matrix algebra, determinants, differentiation, integration, differential equation. Okay. And then next we go for the say mathematical quantitative techniques we completed. Then we go for statistical quantitative techniques. Statistical quantitative techniques are those techniques which are used in conducting the statistical inquiry concerning to certain phenomenon. They include all statistical methods beginning from the to collection of data till interpretation of those collected data. Okay. So statistical techniques are those techniques which are used in conducting the statistical inquiry concerning to certain phenomenon. They include all statistical methods beginning from the collection of data to uh, data data to the till interpretation of those collected data. Interpretation is important. Why? Because when data is collected, the raw data is collected, all the raw data is arranged and according to the your convenient which statistical tool or statistical formula or principle which type of you are going to apply, you go for application that applying that one. And after application is completed, okay, after applying is completed, then interpretation is important here. Okay, interpretation plays a vital role here, pivotal role. So statistical quantitative techniques involve here the techniques in which the principles, procedures and formula of statistics are okay are used or to be used here or to be used and classified under see and classified under statistical quantitative techniques. The techniques are built on statistics, which is a science of quantitative data. Science of quantitative data. Okay. Then we'll see concept of statistics. Statistics is a term with multifarious meanings and interpretations. Broadly, the concept defined by the statisticians either as the data called descriptive statistics or as procedure which deals with the methods of statistics. The term can be described in the following way. In the view of common man, statistics is data. See the concept of statistics. Once again, I am reading. Please listen carefully, my dear students. See, statistics is a term. Okay, statistics is a term with multifarious meanings and interpretation. Broadly, the concept defined by statistician either in data called descriptive statistics or has procedure which deals with the statistics, which deals with the methods of statistics. The term can be described in the following way. So, in the view of common man, the statistics is also called as a data. So, some statistician called it as science of counting, comma, averages and estimations. Science of counting, averages and estimation. As a method, statistics may be defined as process of collection of data and analysis for drawing conclusion. Okay, analysis for drawing conclusion. As a method of statistics, it may be defined as process of collection of data. Okay, which data is required for us? We are going to collect the data, come a presentation, as well as analysis and interpretation of numerical data. From the above statement, it can be concluded that statistics is a systematic collection, analysis, and interpretation of quantitative data. Thus, the statistical quantitative techniques consist of the following point here. So here the statistical quantity techniques, I have the following few points. That is collection of data, measures of central tendency, that is dispersion, skewness and kurtosis, correlation and regression analysis, index numbers, time series analysis, interpolation and extrapolation, statistical quality control, ratio analysis, probability theory, testing of hypothesis. Okay, so these are the different statistical quantitative techniques which we used for analysis purpose, that is the collection of data. So one of the important statistical method is collection of data. There are different methods for collecting primary and secondary data. Different methods are there for collecting the primary as well as secondary data. So for the next one is measures of central tendency. Coming to the tools or analysis part here, measures of central tendency. In measures of central tendency includes dispersion, skewness, and kurtosis. So measures of central tendency is a method used for finding the average of a series, while measures of dispersion used see average of series. Measures of central tendency. In measures of central tendency, how many types there? There are 5 types are there. That is the mean, median, mode, arithmetic mean, and geometric mean. So the main aim of the measures of central tendency is to find the average of series, while measures of dispersion used for finding out variability in a series. Then measures of skewness measure asymmetric of a distribution, while measures of kurtosis measures the flatness of peakedness in a distribution. Okay, then over here the correlation and regression analysis. The next one is correlation and regression analysis. Correlation is used to study the degree of relationship among two or more variables. Degree of relationship between two or more variables. On the other hand, a regression technique, say regression analysis or technique we can say, is used to estimate the value of one variable for a given value of another variable. Okay, to know the value of one variable with the help of the one variable which is known to us. Okay, that is a regression analysis, and we go for the estimation. Estimation means in future how much production we need to do and what amount of money we are going to get back. That is called a estimation. Okay, then times next one is here index numbers. Index numbers measures the fluctuations in various phenomenon like price, production, etc. over a period of time. They are described as economic barometer. Barometers. Index numbers measure the fluctuation in various phenomena like price, production, etc. over a period of time. They are described as economic barometers. Then time series analysis. So here the time series analysis, analysis of time series help us to know the effect of factors which are responsible for changes. Then interpolation and extrapolation. Interpolation is a statistical technique of estimating under certain assumptions the missing figures, which may fall within a range of given figures. Extrapolation provides estimated figures outside the range of a given data. Okay, interpolation is a statistical technique of estimating under certain assumptions the missing figures, which may fall within the range of given figures. Extrapolation provides the estimated figures outside the range of given data. Then statistical quality control. The next one is here, statistical quality control. So statistical quality control is used for ensuring the quality of items manufactured. Statistical quality control is used for ensuring the quality of items manufactured. The variations in quality because of assignable causes and chance causes can be known with the help of this tool here. So assignable causes and chance causes will be known with the help of statistical quality control tools. So different control charts are used in controlling the quality of product here. Okay, different control charts, so like R chart. Okay, R chart is one of the example used for controlling the quality of products. So the next one is ratio analysis. So ratio analysis is used for, yeah, ratio analysis used for analyzing financial statements of any business or industrial concerns, which help to take appropriate decisions. Which help to take appropriate decisions here. So ratio analysis is used for analyzing financial statements of any business or industrial concerns, which help in taking appropriate decisions. Why? Because financial statement shows the business present condition and it will estimate the future condition also. Why? Because based on the past experience only, we are going to estimate the future, and the present scenario, the present situation also will be estimated as per the requirement of the industrial or business concern to take the appropriate decisions here. Then probability theory. So the theory of probability provides numerical values of likelihood of the occurrence of events. So what type of events are occurring here? It will be taken place, and the probability theory means here the theoretically we are going to say regarding probability. So basically, what is probability? Probability is nothing but is a probability is a just we can say it is a assumption or it is a occurrence. Okay. So in probability, what happens here? Generally, for example, tossing a coin is there. So if you toss a coin, the chance of when you toss a coin, that is called as experiment, and that is event. The result, what you are going to see, that result is called as outcome. Okay, outcome is the result here. That is the probability theory. Then testing of hypothesis. Testing of hypothesis is an important statistical tool to judge reliability of inferences drawn on the basis of sample study. Drawn on the basis of the sample study, that is called as testing of hypothesis. So testing of hypothesis is an important statistical tool to judge the reliability of inferences drawn on the basis of sampling studies. So in statistical hypothesis here, different techniques are there, like student t-test. See, in a village or in a town, out of 1000 persons, town A, out of 1000 persons here, 500 people found to be the smokers of cigarette or tea drinkers. In this way, different examples will be there. We are going to see the mean on an average, how many students or how many persons they are consuming the cigarette. We are going to see regarding that. The next one, okay, they are called as, then see these 10 these 10 subheadings comes under statistical quantitative techniques. Okay, and they are, see, wait a minute, some statistician called as science of counting here. Yes, science of counting averages and estimation. As a method, statistics may be defined as a process of collection of data and analysis for drawing conclusions. In this context, FE Croxton and DJ Cowden says statistics is collection, presentation, analysis, and interpretation of numerical data. From the above statements, it can be concluded that statistics is a systematic collection, analysis, and interpretation of quantitative data. Thus, statistical quantitative techniques consist of the following points here. The first one is collection of data. We have seen measures of central tendency, dispersion, skewness, and curtices. Then collection and regression of correlation and regression analysis, index numbers, time series analysis, interpolation and extrapolation, statistical quality control, ratio analysis, probability theory, high testing of hypothesis. Okay. These are the statistical quantitative techniques. First, what we've seen here, my dear students, mathematical quantitative techniques, statistical quantitative techniques. The next one, the last one is here, programming or operation research quantitative techniques here. So that is the testing of hypothesis. Is the last point here. Programming quantitative techniques here. Programming quantitative techniques are here. See, the programming quantitative techniques are also called as operations research techniques. So programming techniques are model building techniques used by decision makers in modern times. Okay. Programming techniques are also called operation research techniques. Programming techniques are model building techniques used by decision maker in modern times. So here programming or operation research techniques we will see. So programming quantitative techniques are also known as operation research model or model building techniques. They provide support in building different models essential for gathering information, goal programming, and decision making. So programming techniques are in usage for more than half century at a primary level. The basic principles of programming were applied in certain military operations under the title Operation Research. Now these techniques are widely used in more advanced stage in every administrative system, government, business, and defense, and non-business. So, see, my dear students, see, I am reading once again. Programming quantitative techniques are also known as operation research model, model building technique. They provide support in building different models, essential for gathering information, goal programming, and decision making. So programming techniques are in usage for more than half century at primary level. The basic principles of programming were applied in certain military operations under the title Operation Research. Now these techniques are widely used in modern advanced stage in every administrative system, that is government, business, and defense and non-business. So that is the importance of operation research is there. So we'll see the concept of operation research. A minute. Yeah. So operation research concept here. So operation research is a quantitative technique applied in process of decision making in scientific analysis of problems, which involves systematic approach operations. Systematic operations here. Okay. So here, see, operation research is a quantitative techniques applied in process of decision making in scientific analysis of problem, which involves systematic operations. Yeah, wait a minute. See here, operation research is also quantitative techniques applied in the process of decision making. See, in scientific analysis of problems involving systematic operations. Okay. The next meaning, we'll see the meaning of operation research. The term operation research is coined by clubbing two different, yes, see, clubbing two different terms, operations and research. Operation means action applied, and research is finding unknown facts and information. Operation means action applied, and research is finding unknown fact and information scientifically. Okay. Thus, operation research can be defined as application of certain tools for dealing with the decision making problems. Operation research, you see, my dear students, you observe carefully. The term operation research is coined by clubbing two different terms. One is the operations and the another is the research. Operation means action applied. The research is finding unknown fact and information scientifically. Thus, operation research can be defined as application of certain tools for dealing with the decision making problems. According to H.M. Wagner, operation research is a scientific approach for problem solving executive management here. So here the model is there here. It is a representation of a process or an operation. Representation of a process or an operation. A model is built to make decision making more logical by simplifying the problem under study during decision making process. So we'll see the example of a model. A model constructed to make budgetary expenses and revenue more logical is called a financial model. Okay. So to do any business, to do any activity, or to build any type of thing here, the finance is a basic need. Okay. So for that, constructing the model, we required a budgetary expenses. What is the expenditure? And we are going to see the revenue also here. So how much we need to incur, and the next after completion of our construction process, everything, what type of revenue we are going to get, we have to see. Then a model build with mathematical formula is called as mathematical model. Then model build provides scientific and logical expression to the problem under study. Therefore, different models are available for different context and problems. See, operation research model are primarily employed in managerial decision making process. Managerial decision making process means here the top level will be there. Okay. So they sometimes top level will be there and the middle level also there. They are also applied in coordinating activities of various departments to achieve common goal. To achieve the common goal here. Then phases of operation research. The following steps are used in applying operation research techniques for study of problem. So first one is here, formulate the problem in quantitative terms. Number one, construct mathematical model, obtain solution from the model, test the validity of model and the solution, implement the solution, formulate the problem in quantitative terms. See, in quantitative terms, we have to formulate, construct mathematical model, obtain solution from the model, test the validity of the model and the solution. Okay, implement the solution. So following are the important techniques of operation research used in business and administration. So they are here: linear programming, queuing theory, game theory, decision theory, inventory theory, network programming, simulation, replacement theory, non-linear programming, sequencing, quadratic programming, branch and bound technique. Okay, so these are the 12 techniques are there in operation research. So first we'll see linear programming technique is used to in finding a solution for optimizing a given objective under certain constraints. Then queuing theory deals with the mathematical study of queues. It aims at minimizing the cost of both serving and waiting. Queuing theory deals with the mathematical study of queues. It aims at minimizing the cost of both serving and waiting. Okay. And then next one is game theory. Game theory is used to determine the optimum strategy in a competitive situation. Game theory is used to determine the optimum strategy in a competitive situation. Then decision theory. This is concerned with making sound decisions under conditions of certainty, risk and uncertainty. Risk and uncertainty. Game theory is used to determine the optimum strategy in a competitive situation. Decision theory. This is the concern with making sound decisions under conditions of certainty, risk, and uncertainty here. Then inventory theory. Inventory theory helps for optimizing the inventory levels. It focuses on minimizing cost associated with the holding of inventories. Inventory theory helps for optimizing the inventory levels. It focuses on minimizing the cost associated with holding of inventories. Then next over here, network programming. It is a technique of planning. Yes, planning is important. So what is plan generally? Planning means thinking in advance, thinking before doing, what to do, when to do, how to do, and who will do a particular task. Then scheduling. Scheduling means based on the schedules. The plan is checked out. So for the time of implementing, okay, we go for the scheduling and controlling also. See, generally the management functions are there. That is planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. So here planning, organizing, staffing, directing, okay, they always look forward direction, but the controlling will be look towards the backward direction. Why? Because all the things are moving, going, or good or not. That is the function of controlling. And the next over here, monitoring and coordinating large and complex projects comprising of a number of activities and events. It serves as an instrument in resource allocation and adjustment of time and cost up to the optimum levels. It includes CPM and PERT, etc. CPM, okay, critical path method, PERT, program evaluation review technique here. The next one here, simulation. Okay, you once observe carefully network programming. It is a technique. See, it is a technique of planning, of scheduling, controlling, monitoring, coordinating. It is a technique of planning, scheduling, controlling, monitoring, and coordinating large and complex problems comprising of a number of activities and events. It serves as an instrument in resource allocation and adjustment of time and cost up to the optimum levels. It includes okay, critical path method, program evaluation review technique, etc. Then simulation. It is a technique of testing a model which resembles a real life situation. It is a technique of it is a technique of testing a model which resembles a real life situation here. That is called as simulation. Then replacement theory. So it is concerned with the problems of replacement of machines, etc., due to their deteriorating efficiency or breakdown. It helps to determine the most economic replacement policy. The replacement means simply when the machines are not performing well, slowly their efficiency levels will be decreases, and meanwhile the breakdowns will be taking place. Then we go for the replacement theory. So it helps to determine the most economic replacement policy. Most economic replacement policy means it should not harm to the replacer and the company here. The person who is ready to replace that concerned machine, he should not feel that the mindset of that concerned person should not what we call worry about this at the time of replacement here. Okay, that is one of the important policy. The nonlinear programming. It is a programming technique which involves finding an optimum solution to a problem in which some or all variables are non-linear. Okay, it is a programming technique which involves finding an optimum solution to a problem in which some or all variables are non-linear. Then sequencing. Sequencing tool is used to determine a sequence in which given jobs should be performed by minimizing the total efforts. So minimizing the efforts here. Minimizing means the effort should be minimized, the returns will be maximized. That is called as sequencing tool. Then quadratic programming. Quadratic programming technique is designed to solve certain problems, the objective function of which takes the form of a quadratic equation. Okay. Then branch and bound technique. This is designed to solve the combinational problem of decision making, which where where there are large numbers of feasible solutions. Problems of plant location, problems of determining minimum cost of production, etc., are the examples of combinational problems here. Okay, so these are the 12 important techniques of operation research which were used in business and administration. Okay, the next over here, functions of quantitative techniques. The following are important functions of quantitative techniques. They are: number one, to facilitate the decision making process here. To facilitate the decision making process, to provide a tool for scientific research, to help in choosing an optimal strategy, to enable in proper deployment of resources, to help in minimizing cost, to help in minimizing the total processing time required for performing a set of job. Okay, performing a set of job. So functions of quantitative techniques, once I am reading, I'm going through it. Okay, you listen carefully. మీకైతే ఇప్పుడు దాదాపు 5,000 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం మీకైతే ఇప్పుడు దాదాపు 5,000 సంవత్సరాల క్రితం ఓకే వెయిట్ అంటే ఈజిప్ట్ లో మమ్మీస్ అనే Okay. Yeah. So listen carefully. So functions of quantitative techniques. The following are the important functions of quantitative techniques. So to facilitate the decision making process. Okay, so provide a facility for taking the for decision making, to provide the tools for scientific research, to help in choosing an optimal strategy, to enable in proper deployment of resources, to help in minimizing cost, to help in minimizing the total processing time required for performing a set of job, helping in capital or resource allocation here. So the functions of quantitative techniques are very much important. So first one is it will facilitate the decision maker, and it will create some decision making process, and it will provide the tools for scientific research, and it help in choosing an optimal strategy, enable in proper deployment of resources, help in minimizing cost, to help in minimizing the total processing time required for performing a set of jobs here, and helping in capital research allocations here. Okay, so role of the next one is role of quantitative techniques in business and industry. Role of quantitative techniques in business and industry. So you observe carefully. So quantitative techniques are very powerful medium through which we solve uncertainty in decision making and enhance the project ability and efficiency in the business. Therefore, these quantitative techniques evaluate planning factors, and when these arise, then provide meaningful solution to particular business problem. Okay, then quantitative techniques render valuable services in the field of business and industry. Okay, so listen here. Quantitative techniques are very powerful medium through which we solve uncertainty in decision making and enhance the project ability and efficiency in the business. Therefore, these quantitative techniques evaluate planning factors, and when these arise, then provide meaningful solutions to a particular business problem. Okay, so quantitative techniques render valuable services in the field of business and industry. Today, all decisions in business and industry are made with the help of quantitative techniques only. So, in the today's situation, what is happening means here in the business and industry, everything will be taking the help of quantitative techniques only in the field of business as well as industry. Okay, some of the important uses of quantitative techniques in the field of business and industry are given below. So just I will read it, and you just listen properly, my dear students. The first one is here: quantitative techniques of linear programming is used for optimal allocation of scarce resources in the problem of determining product mix. Quantitative techniques of linear programming is used for optimal allocation of scarce resources in the problem of determining product mix. Inventory control techniques are used in dividing when and how much items are to be purchased, and so has to maintain a balance between the cost of holding and cost of ordering the inventory. Cost of holding and cost of ordering the inventory. Then quantitative techniques of critical path management and program evaluation review technique helps in determining the earliest and the latest time for the events and activities of a project. This helps in management in proper deployment of resources. Then decision tree analysis and simulation technique helps in management in taking the best possible courses of action under the conditions of risk and uncertainty. Then queuing theory is used to minimize the cost of waiting and servicing of customers in queues. The next one is replacement theory helps in management in determine the most economic replacement policy regarding replacement of an equipment and equipment. Replacement of equipment. Okay, then from the block one, the unit number one, the last topic is quantitative techniques and decision making, and the limitations of quantitative techniques we are going to see now. So quantitative techniques and decision making. So here decision making is the most fundamental function of management professionals. Decision making is the most fundamental function of management professionals. Every manager has to take decision related to his or her field of work. Therefore, this is an this is an all pervasive function of basic management. There are various methods for process of decision making. The quantitative technique of decision making helps in making these methods more convenient and efficient. Almost every function of a typical manager will require him or her to make decisions on a routine basis. These decisions mostly depend on the nature as well as the scope of his or her work. Also, it depends on the authority and powers of the manager. Authority and the powers of the manager. A decision is a judgment. See here, a decision is a judgment of a course of action that are always aiming to achieve a specific result. For every task a person wants to achieve, the decision forms the foundation of it. Okay, to achieve any task or any take any here the foundation of is the decision here. The manager often chooses the best option from a range of alternatives for every task that he or she has to complete within a given time. The manager often chooses the best option from a range of alternatives for every task that he or she has to complete within a given time. Every decision has many consequences. Therefore, choosing a right decision is very important here. It can be said that the entire decision making involves selecting a course of action from various alternatives. This is a very crucial function that all the managers have to carry out routinely here. Okay, so here what are the quantitative techniques in decision making? So we'll see while making a decision, there are several techniques that a manager of a company or an organization can employ. The quantitative techniques help the manager to take decisions objectively and is an efficient way. Such techniques rely on a scientific and statistical approach to make a good decision. The six important quantitative techniques of decision making are as follows. The first one is here linear programming, probability decision theory, game theory, queuing theory, simulation, network techniques here. So first one is here linear programming. This technique helps in maximizing an object that is under limited resources. The main objective can be either optimization of of a utility or minimizing of a disutility. In simple words, one can say that it helps in utilizing a resource or a constraint to its maximum potential. Usually, all the managers use this technique only under conditions that involve certainty. Therefore, this might not be very useful to the manager when circumstances are uncertain or unpredictable. Okay. Then a probability decision theory. So probability decision theory is a technique that lies in case where the probability of an outcome can only be predicted. In simple words, one cannot always predict the exact outcome of any course of action. Yes, that is a we know exact outcome we can't predict in advance. The manager use this technique to determine the probabilities of an outcome using the available information firstly. Okay, the manager can also rely on their subjective judgment for this purpose. Next, they use this data of probabilities to make their decisions. They often use the decision tree or the payoff matrices for this purpose. The next one is game theory. Often the manager use certain quantitative techniques only while making decisions pertaining to their business rivals. The game theory approach is one such kind of technique. This technique stimulates the rivalries or conflicts between business as a game. The main aim of manager of a company under this technique is to find ways of gaining at the expenses of their rivals. In order to do this, uh, they can use two people or three people or even n number of people games. Okay. The next queuing theory. Queuing theory. Each and every business often suffers waiting for periods or queues pertaining to their personal equipment, resources, or services. For example, sometimes a manufacturing company may gather a stock of unsold goods due to irregular demands. Okay, unsold goods due to irregular demands. This theory aims to solve such type of problems. The main aim of this theory is to minimize such waiting period and also reduce the investment in such expenses. For example, the departmental stores often have to find a balance between the unsold stock and the purchasing of precious goods. The manager in such example can employ the queuing theory to minimize their expenses. Expenses. Okay. The next one is simulation. Stimulation. Stimulation. Stimulation technique observe several outcomes under hypothetical or artificial settings. Okay. The manager here. The managers try to understand how their decisions will work out under diverse circumstances. Then they finalize accordingly on the decision that is likely to be the most beneficial to them. Understanding the outcomes under such stimulated environments instead of natural settings reduce the risk drastically. The network techniques. All the complex activities often required concentrated efforts by the personnel personnel in order to avoid the waste of time, energy, and also the money. This technique basically aims to solve by creating strong network structures for the work. There are two most critical quantitative techniques under this approach. These include the critical path method and the program evaluation review technique. These techniques are effectively because they segregate them work efficiently under the networks. They also drastically time and money reduce the time and money. Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, time and money. Okay, the next over here, role of quantitative techniques in business and industry. Trade and industry in today's economy are under great pressure of threat of competition here. Threat of competition. The tranquility once existing in trade The tranquility once existing in the trade is totally replaced by tensions, competitions, disturbances, policy restrictions, etc. Liberalization and globalization brought drastic changes in the economic system and also in business. Big corporate entities, MNCs, big companies entered into those areas which were once reserved for regional trade. Small and tiny sector and public sector, example, health, education, telecommunication, agriculture, food processing, handicrafts and handloom, etc. Okay. are the examples. The next year, sellers markets turn to buyers market. Seller market turn to buyers market. All these changes created severe competition and uncertainty in the economy. Business organizations and management became a complex and complicated activity. A simple mistake and a minor negligence may result in a heavy loss. Such conditions provoked administrators, policymakers, and business executives to search for techniques which can enhance quality standards quality standards in the work and excellence in general performance. Application of quantitative techniques is one of such attempts made by the intelligent executives because the techniques are developed to support trade and industry in a special way. A role of quantitative techniques can be studied under the two product categories, that is category one, business management, planning, decision making, okay, control here, then integrated development, human resource management, then financial management here. So category one, in category one, business management. Okay, business management involves the chief function of manager, planning, organizing, directing, controlling, etc. Quantitative techniques are liberally applied in all these functions at various stages. Some of the important areas benefited by quantitative techniques are planning. Planning is thinking before doing. Planning process involves forecasting future course of action on the basis of past behavior of a phenomena and making estimations. Accordingly, programs, procedures, and also budgets are formulated. It is collection, analysis, and presentation of data to draw inferences. All these stages require the application of different tools of quantitative techniques. When quantitative techniques are applied, it becomes scientific planning and proportionately the risk and uncertainty are reduced. The next over here, decision making. Decision making is the most crucial of all the managerial functions. It is greatly supported by quantitative techniques, especially the statistical and programming techniques. Statistical and programming techniques here. Statistical and programming techniques. Statistical and programming techniques. See, decision making is a selection of best course of action. Selection of best course of action. Best courses of action here from numerous alternatives. Timely decisions ensure success and suitable decisions promise the progress. Fast developing information technology is providing vast information with various alternative course of action for each problem. The changing conditions are multiplying the problems in management. Thus, the managers are totally depending on quantitative techniques for making decisions. In this context, decision theory enables business manager to select the best alternatives and simulation technique provides an idea of effect of alternatives. Theory of probability, regression analysis, etc. also support the decision makers. Then next over here, the control. Control. Okay. Controlling is a continuous process which includes setting standards regarding of work in process, identifying the deviations, making corrections, and redefining strategies. If necessary, the manager reformulates the policies. Due to complexes in business and industry, control in modern business management became a complicated task. Those enterprises which aim at high quality standards with 100% perfection depend on quantitative techniques such as PERT CPM, budgetary control, inventory control, ratio analysis, probability, sampling, etc. The next one is here integrated development. To encounter the contemporary business challenges in the market, business enterprises are expanding the size of organization by establishing branches or extending business operations, such as developments create a need for extra departments and personal in business organization. Under such a complex organizational structure, integrated development of a business towards the single goal became a challenge. To achieve total and integrated development, managers resort to various quantitative techniques. Programming techniques helps the manager in framing policies for integrated development. Managers can use several tools of quantitative techniques at various stages to get information from each department here. It is analyzed to make the final decisions. The whole process depends on quantitative techniques only. Okay.